From the Entrepreneurship Development Cell, today I'm going to speak on the topic from idea to IPO. It's all about entrepreneurship journey. We all understand the importance nowadays, how it stands like, in viewpoint of government. We understand why these, you can say, policies being launched by the government or the Ministry of Education to have like incubation centers in our institutions or the colleges or the institutes, or entrepreneurship development cell establishment must be there at each college or institute. Why so? We need to understand the importance of this entrepreneurship or the you can say entrepreneurship development cell itself. In my last lecture I talked about incubation centers and their importance to the student as well as faculties, and here again I am with the topic from idea to IPO, and we all understand what idea stands for. It is a very initial stage where a person is only having a, you can say, blink of something new into his or her mind. And when we talk about IPO, it is the initial public offering. Those who are from the commerce background or from the stock exchange background, those who are having the interest into that. So they must understand what is IPO. Whenever a company introduced themselves or got registered themselves with the stock exchange of India, with the SEBI, they offer their first time their shares to the public. That is what we call initial public offering. So here we need to understand first why entrepreneurship and why these sort of institutions cell would gonna be held around those people, those who are having in their mind to become an entrepreneur, to become a resource person, to boosting up the growth of the economy, and how it would gonna be work. It is all about the inventions and innovation, like Sir said right before my topic. So innovation is the most fundamental process supporting the economic growth of the community. However, this innovation process requires appropriate and significant support, basically. So entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs have long been recognized as an important source of innovation and invention, and thereby also growth and employment. The significant rise in micro and small enterprises closure in recent years and that stark witness to these difficult conditions and highlight the need for development of entrepreneurs. To foster the culture of entrepreneurship in the institutes, entrepreneurship development cells has been established out there to make the people understand the importance of being owner, of importance of being to provide the job opportunities rather seeking the job opportunities up there. So here entrepreneurship is, as I have told you, is recognized an important driver of economic growth of the country. Even Government of India recognizes the importance of this and has introduced many programs like Make in India, or you can say Startup India. The aim of Entrepreneurship Development Cell is to develop and strengthen the entrepreneurial qualities. Why I am saying this all? I just need to make you things, in a better understanding that we work, when these kind of development cells, we make the student understand the importance of being entrepreneur, by telling them the stories of some successful entrepreneur like that. Like I have the topic today, that is the idea, from idea up to the IPO, and for that particular success or to bring that company from idea to the IPO, these entrepreneurship cell or the incubation center has their own importance, significant in their journey. So here I am going to start with the further discussion over the this topic. Just give me. So here, when we talk about the journey of entrepreneurship, it is a dynamic journey, right? Which is characteristics by the transformation of single idea into a successful enterprise. At the pinnacle of this journey lies in the initial public offerings. Whosoever is going to start the company, and suppose before that, just coming back to the very initial stage, if we are seeking the job, what would we see while googling that company out there in the Google? We see whether it is listed or not. If you want to grab a good job, you want to grab a good platform out there, you must seek out whether the company is listed or not. Where that listed word has come from? That listed word has come from the IPO itself. When they are listed in with the stock exchange, when they are offering their shares to the public, that means they have grown up to that level that they can sustain the money of the public and make it into the profit. So here lies the importance of the idea and towards the IPO. So here I am going with the explanation again. A landmark event that signifies a transition from a privately held company to a public traded equity or entity. This article, which I'm going to explain with it to you, dwells how a fledgling idea evolves through various stages to ultimately culminating the IPO, highlighting the key milestones and strategic decisions involved. So what is the idea? Basically, you must understand the genesis, where it comes from, what it is, having the base with, how it is related to that person, and where, it is going to stand to. So every entrepreneur venture starts with an idea. You must have, countered that statement from the TV also, an idea can change your life. So it is very, 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 true thing about the idea. An idea can change your life. If you are having, altogether an idea to become an IAS, you start studying in that capacity. If you have an idea to become an entrepreneur, you will find some opportunity out there. If you want to become a pilot, it is only an idea, but you are going to cultivate the ways to become the pilot. Likewise, when idea come into the entrepreneurship mind, they will cultivate the way or the path to become an IPO, right? So, often a novel solution to a pressing problem or a unique innovation in the market, this initial concept, however, is just a beginning. Transforming an idea into a viable business requires through market research, a solid business plan. Like as I have said, if idea comes to your mind, you will start dwelling up how I would, complete this, how I would achieve this, my dream out there, my idea is out there. So when entrepreneur or you can say person is having that idea, they start dwelling up. They start finding out the ways to become, more sustainable, to become more successful, and that success lies in stock exchange, or you can say in a simple word, to become an IPO. So, a solid business plan and the ability to execute, right? So this initial phase involves validating the idea, understanding the market needs, and developing a product or service that meets those needs effectively. So how would you, make that startup from there? Or you can, build the foundation thereof. So this is what we call the startup phase. Nowadays, we are, often we listen these startups, right? What these startups are? These startups are to after dream of, our future, after dreaming it off and with having a good idea into our mind, we are going to start or execute the ways to realize it. When we start executing the ways to realize it, the actions, the execution of, you can say short-term plans to achieve that idea, that is called startup, right? So what is that a startup is? Once the idea is validated means you put your all the time on the research, whether you are going to successful with that idea or not. You validate it with the present resources in the economy, or be with you, or existing or not, or where you are going to make them assemble for. So the entrepreneur embark on building a startup. This phase involves assembling a team, creating a prototype, or you can say minimal viable product, and establishing a business model there. Funding during this stage often comes very, you can say from the personal savings. Here we have issues in fundraising. Although government has launched various schemes to set out and to meet out the funding requirement of the upcoming entrepreneurs, even though the documentation processes, the process even is very keep the process and keep the things linger on where the people can fed up from. So often I have seen they seek the finance from their personal aspect, or they use their personal savings, or they use to make this a personal loan kind of thing, right? So funding is a major issue. Rather, we need to focus upon how it gonna be achieved by that person. So we are not focusing on these issues right now. We are focusing on how an idea can lead that person, the entrepreneur or that entrepreneur firm to the ideal. Let's not deviate it from our topic. So scaling up. When you organize the things, when you assemble all the things, you have made a team, and you are at the earlier stage on the venture capitalism, or you can say your focus is on the refining of products, or gaining some early transactions, or establishing a customer base, and you are searching or you are researching what are the existing product in your product line and how can you compete with them. So this is what we call the startups, right? Where we are keep on researching, right? Then is scaling up. Scaling up, how you will grow it, how will you expand it. Only launching a product is not a solution. Only having an idea is not a solution. You need to realize that whatever your mind is working out there, whatever the idea you are having, whether it is having any realistic approach or not. Suppose at this particular moment, I will be having an idea that I'll become the pilot. But I have, that phobia from the heights. How can I become the pilot? So it is not all about having an idea and become an ideal. No, it is all about to validate that idea. It is all about the realism of that idea. Everyone cannot have the realistic ideas. Even the young minds are having very unrealistic ideas. Likewise. So we need to find the realism in those ideas, the workable condition, the workable situation, the workable arrangements of the fund for that particular venture. Nowadays we are coming up with the word venture capitalist. Many people are venture capitalists. They used to invest their money into someone's business. They become producer kind of thing. Like in films, we must have heard that the producers and the directors are who direct the idea, who execute the idea. Producers are those providing the funds. Likewise, in our real life, we need producers. We need fund, you can say, providers. These are the things which we need to prove that our idea is actually an idea which can, achieve up to that stage where you can provide or you can offer your initial shares to sell out in the public. So when we talk about the scaling up, the growth and the expansion, with a solid foundation in place, the next challenge is scaling the business. This phase involves expanding the product line, entering new markets and increase the operational capacity. Growth is typically fueled by venture capital or additional round of funding. Key milestone includes profitability, building a strong brand, and demonstrating sustainable revenue growth. Scaling required strategic management, efficient operation, and a robust marketing strategy. Why I am putting up over here the strategic management? In our, you can say, the foundation courses of the business management, strategic management is a subject basically. But when you are becoming an entrepreneur or you are becoming an advisor, you must understand the importance of this word, strategic. Strategic word is for the long-term plan. When you are keeping in the view all the challenges out there with you. Like if it happens, what is my goal? If that happened, what is my, would be the safe place? If that happens, what can I escape from? Escapism is also a strategy. Sometimes escapism is the best policy to avoid the consequences. So here I am talking about the strategic management importance. I am talking about the efficient operation policies. How would you provide advice how to avoid the wastage of the all the material you are requiring? How would you avoid the wastage of the energy? Energy can be in any form, whether it is electricity or whether it is this product form, right? So here, why robust marketing strategy? You must understand the strategy of your competitors first. How would you launch your product if you are not having the, in your mind, what is the advantage of a product? And I guess I am not having the, you can say I am not, well versed with the marketing, but I understand it starts from the research itself. Marketing starts from the research itself. What are the existing products and what are their problems? What problems customers are facing with the existing product would be the unique selling point of your newly launched product. Then only you can market that this product you are using and you are facing this problem. I am having the solution. That solution is your product, right? So I am not having that much knowledge, but I do understand the importance of research, and we look around about the funding also. Who will fund you? Who will give you a kickstart? Those who can actually believe that you are going to do something good. You are becoming successful. So here I am just moving forward with the other point presentation, that is preparing the big leap, that is IPO readiness. What is IPO? When company matures and it may reach a point where where it goes public and it becomes viable option. Preparing for an IPO involves rigorous financial and operations scrutiny. This stage includes conducting throughout audits, ensuring regulatory compliance, and preparing detailed financial reports. Companies often work with the investment banks to underwrite the IPO and help navigate a complex process to filling up the securities and regulators. Since we understand IPO is somewhat where your company is gonna establish, where your company will going to nail it, name and brand. Now it is listed one. When it is listed one, it already get the fame and name for it and the customer for it, right? So what is this IPO process? Let us talk about this. What is this IPO process so that we can have a very good idea about what we are talking. The IPO process begins with filing a registration statement with the Security and Exchange Commission, which includes a comprehensive overview of the company's financial health, business model, and risk factors. Obviously, when you want to list yourself, you need to explain what would be your risk factors, what is your financial status, and how you are going to succeed in the market. That means what is your business model. After receiving the approval, the company sets a date for the offerings, and offerings means issuing of the shares newly to the public, and works with underwriters to determine the share price and allocation. The company then officially goes public and its shares are listed on a stock exchange, making them available for purchase by the public investors, right? So post IPO situation is very challenging. Becoming an IPO could rather be easy, but when you become IPO, then situation comes like even you have to get challenged each and everywhere. Like when suppose you study in a 10th class or 11th class, or you can say why I am saying this, and suppose you get the first position. What is the challenge for you now? To becoming first on the first position, yes, you have worked hard. Somewhat it is easy, right? But to retain that position is very much, typical. Why? Because when you achieve something new, people starting, getting, jealous from you. How that person can achieve that so much? Acha, how? How can a person be on that position? Right? To retain that position, you have to work hard. Even what you have done earlier doesn't matter. But to retain that position, you have to go beyond your limits. You have to even think out of the box. But you have not think yet. Right? So this is what with the companies itself. When they become listed company with the Stock Exchange Board of India, or say if talk about it with India, when they are listed in that security exchange boards, then when it comes from the public, you have to retain that position because you have to win the trust of those public, those people, those who have invested in your company. Where you will get the dividend from? Just becoming listed and just having that status of IPO. So you are having money invested by the public. But here comes the challenge, and here your journey started actually. You have to answer to those people and the public who have invested in your company. You have to give them returns. Earlier it was like you have to earn profit for yourself or for your living. But now things are changed. Scenario has been changed. You have to retain yourself for the public, not for you. You have to retain yourself for the employees, not for you. You have to retain yourself for the shareholders and the investors, not for the public also. You have to retain yourself for the management also. Because we all understand, owners and execution boards are different. Those are different people. They have to work for that, right? And then, here comes the conclusion. The journey from idea to IPO is a testament basically to the entrepreneurial vision, reliance and strategic execution. Each phase of this journey, from convincing an initial idea to scaling the business, undergoing the processes, undergoing the public requirements and dedications, adaptability, it is a key, it's a keen understanding of the market dynamics. And IPO is not just a financial milestone, it is a validation of the entrepreneurial spirit and the culmination of the year of hard work and innovation. So for many entrepreneurs, it represents the beginning of the new chapter. I have told you, when you achieve something, that is the beginning of your new journey, altogether with the loss of competitors and with the loss of, evil eye factors, rather. Right? So here I have to quote some, there are some several notable startups that successfully navigating the journey from initial idea to the initial public offering. First one is Uber Technologies. Founder is, anybody can tell me, if possible, who is the founder of Uber Technologies? That is Garrett Camp and Travis Kalanick, and they are founded on 10th May 2019. Uber began to a simple idea to provide the more convenient and reliable transportation option compared to the traditional taxis. And from its inception, from 2009, it grew rapidly and got its IPO at the year 2019. Right? Likewise, Airbnb, when you used to, book your tickets for the flights, right? We often, find some sites over there. So Airbnb is market, right? It became the IPO in December 2020. Right, so these are some remarkable examples. Zoom video, the remarkable, you can say, success. Earlier, Google Meet was not there. Before that, we, introduced ourselves with the Zoom only, and it was having a session of 35 minutes only. We were not able to take the classes of 1 hour and receiving the payment of 1 hour. That was the problem of the owners that time. However, they would made it to the 1 hour to make the teachers engage with the student for 1 hour online because Corona was there, right? So it became IPO in 2019 itself, since and very soon when it has launched, because the requirement is very high that time. So here with these some examples, I want to conclude my session for today, and I just want to make you people understand. You must understand the importance of the entrepreneurship in the growth of the economy. Everyone cannot be the entrepreneur, and everyone cannot be, for the, you can say, a job material person. Someone maybe wants to become owner, to provide job rather, right? So here I would ending up my presentation over here, hoping that I have given the helpful insight about the idea towards the IPO. And thank you for listening me with so patient. And if anybody has any question, they can ask us. Okay, so let's conclude it. Thank you so very much to be there. Thank you.